Hey, remember when we did the first survival guide? Well, now we're doing a second in the ice fields. So, for all intensive purposes, I'm going to be defining the tundra as anywhere in this general area because it's mostly just all ice. Unfortunately, the tundra is an extremely cold and frigid area, so the animals around you are going to have to be your saviors for both warmth and food. Take the reindeer, for example, which lives in the tundra. Also in the tundra are various little weaselly things, like foxes and whatnot, and all those little scuttling beasts. Unfortunately, without their hides, you are going to die mega quick, so muster up the courage and kill them respectfully. Next, find out about your shelter situation. Unless you want to get mauled by a bear or something in your sleep, you need a place to rest. Did you crash in a plane? Well, that's no good for the first day or so because it's on fire and also very dangerous. Wait until you're confident it's much safer. Thankfully, your new homestead is all around you, specifically on the ground. Go Eskimo style and build an igloo. It should be at least comparatively similar to when you used to build snow forts as a kid. Start with a base layer of snow bricks and build up in a slope shape. Food in the tundra is turbo importante. I want to make that very clear. To your own chagrin, however, there are no grocery stores in the middle of Severnaya Zemlya, I'd imagine, so you're gonna have to forage. Look for things like roots and berries and naturally occurring things like that. For meat, you may have to off a seal or two or harvest some fishies from the cold sea. Only do this next one if it's absolutely necessary. Polar bears. Here's why. According to my very probably inaccurate calculations, Anchorage Daily News says that a polar bear yields up to 500 pounds of meat. The USDA says that you only need 5.5 ounces of meat per day. 5.5 ounces is equivalent to around 0.34 pounds. 500 divided by 0.34 is 1,470 days, which can last you about 4 years. The biggest issue is intense rationing and keeping your meat from not spoiling, but I believe in you. Now, how are you gonna get rescued, says I. Well, you can start a fire and use the smoke as a smoke signal for oncoming overhead passerby, or you can jog to the nearest village and hope it's an active settlement. But where there's smoke, there's fire, and by fire I mean wolves. Yes, the Arctic tends to have wolves in it. Or if you find an abandoned settlement that has a snowmobile, or just one in general, hopefully you know how to work it, because if you don't, it may be more trouble than it's worth. A common thing to go after for some quick meat is this little essay called a pika or a pika or something, which is like a little rabbit mouse thingamajig in the Arctic. Alternatively, when you've become proficient in survival here, work on the holy trinity of tundra life: moss, kindling, and elbow grease. When these three magical things come together, you can make your new best friend, fire. Now that you've whittled a stick down to a flame, focus on getting a bigger stick for a spear. Affix a shard of metal or a sharp rock to the end, and hope your javelin skills are S rank. Unleash and hit your target, and also don't get caught without it, because then you can't defend yourself from the oncoming onslaught of polar bears. Finally, you have water, arguably the most important part. A common misconception is to eat snow, but this can get dangerous. Death ain't gonna happen, but it could lead to hypothermia because your body wastes energy warming you up after eating something cold to get you normal again. It wastes calories, so eating direct snow ain't a good idea. The same goes with ice, so make sure to melt it into fresh water. Well, thanks for watching, friends. Stay tuned next time for some more terrible videos.